Hi,
Excellent,
Roxy.
excellent, excellent. Yes.
Thanks. It's
Those
my power
earrings.
color.
Well, welcome back. This is the official first day of Dare to Be Great 4 era of the headset, and I am honored to have good friend as well as Diamond sponsor and executive director and founder of 901 Wonder Women Inc., Sarah Weston. She's going to be here opening up the day and presenting, advocating for 911 starts with you. Take it away.
Oh, I thought you were going to say more words. Okay. Hi. Good morning. It is an absolute honor to be here. I see my role this morning as kind of like the opener for Julie, who's coming on right after me because she's awesome. So maybe I can get you warmed up a little bit for her session. Hi. He's advancing slide. Hi. Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself, and then I'm going to tell you that I was in Ella England's session yesterday, and if anyone else was, let me know how awesome that session was. And she kind of, I got a little flick of inspiration after listening to her session, and I completely changed everything around. Also, as you'll see here in this picture, which is my attempt at spreading holiday cheer, I have two little boys, and I had to get them off to school today. I had to get them out, and one goes to preschool and the other one goes to the bus stop. So I've had kind of a crazy morning, but I'm here with you and I'm very, very happy. So my name is Sarah Weston, and I am the founder and executive director of 911 Wonder Women, which is a nonprofit organization. I'm also the founder and CEO of Sarah Weston Consulting. So I am the mom of two little boys and the mom of two little businesses. And I'm just tired and busy, but this is something that I love to do. So a little bit about me. I live in Central Florida. I saw a couple people in the comments this morning, also in Florida, some of you in Central Florida. So hi, Lori. I have not always lived in Florida, much like a lot of people who live in Florida. I was born and raised in Ohio. So for those of you who are suffering through the cold right now, I feel you. I also went to college in Pennsylvania and then lived there for several years. Moved down to Birmingham, Alabama, where I lived for about 7 years. So just slowly making my way south. I do love Florida. I love the palm trees. I love that it's like 60 degrees today. I love all the things about Florida. My two little boys there, Vincent and Anthony, they are 7 and 4. I'm doing a session later today called No Shame in My Mom Game. So I'll save the rest of my commentary for that. Also, I started in public safety right out of college. I have been doing it for about 17 and a half years. My focus there is next generation 911 planning, procurement, implementation, along with working with the National 911 program and working on some nationwide projects with them. So that's a little bit about me. I'll go into a little bit of my story. I don't have a ton of time today. I only have a half hour. So I'll keep this brief. But you see the picture up at the top there in black and white. That's my first day of work. That the date there is 2010. That's the date that they hung that picture in the office. But it was 2005. And I was just had no idea what I was doing. I was 21 years old. I was much the same as I am now, very exuberant and loud and excited. And I walked into the consulting firm where it was very much like shirt and tie and like business professional cubicles everywhere, like this. Hi, everybody. And it did not go so well for me for a number of years because I felt like I couldn't be myself and do the job, but I really, really liked the job. So I was very torn. I felt for a long time like I didn't have what it take. I didn't look the part. I'm 5'1", and I remember Ella yesterday saying she was 4'10", and I was like, a fellow short woman who always feels like they look like a 12-year-old. That's me too. So I feel you, Ella, if you're out there. I wasn't sure what to do. I kind of wanted to quit and just try doing something else that fit me better. I felt like that was the option instead of creating a path for myself. I didn't see a path for myself. So I decided to get letters after my name because couldn't hurt, right? So I got my EMP. I actually just celebrated my 12th year as an EMP in October. So at first, I didn't feel like it did what I wanted it to do, which was get me respect. Because then I was still only 26, and I just thought if I had the EMP on my business card when I walked into a room, it would garner a little bit more respect. I don't know if it did or not. I think my change in attitude and my maturing is probably what garnered me a little bit more respect. But again, the process I went through to get my EMP did a ton for me in my career and what I learned and the connections I made just by studying for the exam and whatnot. So while it didn't do what I thought it was going to do, it did a ton for me. A couple of years later, I got some more letters, PMP, which is not what you all think it is. There's no I in there. Okay. PMP, Project Management Professional. I went through that certification process, and I can't say enough about getting certifications in your career, along with those letters after your name. The things that you learn in the process are just priceless. I don't have time to talk about that right now, but a huge part of my story, you'll see the young woman standing next to me. So that was that her name is Wendy. That was our very first little mini booth at a National NINA conference. We were working for the National 911 program, setting up 911.gov and the 911 Resource Center. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at that picture. It just makes me giggle. And I think that was 2010, I believe. But the point is, we hired another young woman, and she was incredible. She was a lawyer. She did a lot of policy work for Next Generation 911 in particular, also the federal grant program back then. So so smart. And she came, those people that just come along in your life at the exact right time. That was Wendy. And she taught me that it was up to me to advocate for myself. So here I was going along, trying to advance in my career, getting all these certifications. But what I was missing was that it was up to me. It wasn't the letters. It wasn't the certifications. It wasn't the years of experience or the fact that I had a booth at a National NINA conference. That wasn't it. It was me advocating for myself, believing in myself first, that then could lead me to kind of my passion and what I feel like I was meant to do, which is advocate for others. But going back to what Ella said yesterday is, don't you think it's worth saving yourself, saving your own life because look at all the lives you can then impact and save and help. So that really got me, especially because we lost Wendy to cancer in 2019. She was 36 years old. And she was just everything to me. She was my best friend, my sister from another mister, my soul sister, everything. And she was never going to be able to help anyone else like she helped me. And that was something that was a huge part of my grief. And of course, I missed her, and I do still now in every single way. But I relied on her to do that important work. And I was kind of like her second in command. Like, she would do the stuff and I would cheer for her and make sure that she had everything that she needed and all the support that she needed to do this work of advocating for others and making other people realize their potential and open that up. So life doesn't always go exactly as planned. And I found myself at the National Nina Conference in 2019 here in Orlando, dedicating a scholarship to her life up there on the stage in front of thousands of people at the board luncheon at Nina. And I love this picture of me, but I'm kind of like a deer in headlights. That whole experience was just kind of a blur, but also because I did that, I feel like I can do anything, like talk to you all today about this without losing my shit. So, sorry, I will try not to curse. So anyway, I believe in order to advocate for 911, we have to find our passion for it. We need to understand that passion isn't going to look like anyone else's. And we need to understand that passion is a lifelong journey and it changes. And I just got distracted. I'm really bad at reading messages, but I see Dr. Jones is in Doha and I just need to know if he's going to the World Cup games. So you can work on that, Dr. Jones. So anyway, I think what we need to understand that it's going to look different for everyone. And I did not know I had passion within me until I lost Wendy. And I think that goes back to the whole concept of like when you hit rock bottom and you make changes. I'm not saying that was rock bottom for me. It just was the most devastating thing I've ever been through. So I love this quote. Sometimes it's when you feel the least powerful that you can be touched the deepest. That is exactly what happened. I think a lot of us right now in 911 are feeling like we don't have power. There's a lot going on with mandatory overtime and understaffing and burnout and COVID and so much, right? And we feel like we don't have control. We feel like we don't have power. We can't control the people in our centers that aren't interested in raising morale, right? So we can find our power in those emotions if we allow ourselves to feel them and kind of sit in that pain, sit in that emotion, whatever it might be, and try to figure that out. So that was my inspiration. Wendy and I had come up with this idea of a Facebook group before she passed. And to be honest with you, I wanted to give it up. When I lost her, I didn't think, remember, I was just the sidekick. She was the one who could do this. So I had to come to that conclusion of she can't do it, so I must. But the whole inspiration from this was being a consultant and traveling the country. I've been in hundreds of 911 centers all over the country and have seen like the big, huge, fancy ones, like in Houston, Texas, and the little tiny two-seaters in South Dakota, and have realized that we all struggle with similar things. And a lot of women in 911 struggled with what I did, which was I didn't have a female leader to look up to, in what I was doing when I was a young woman and really, really needed that. I didn't have a female mentor. I didn't know they existed in 911, to be honest with you, until I got out there and started seeing them. And then I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So I wanted to hook people up. I wanted to connect people. I knew these amazing leaders would want to help women who needed that. So we started that as a Facebook group. We now have over 12,600 women in it. But I hear a lot as I get out there and travel that we're just a Facebook group. And we're not just a Facebook group. We're advocates. Yes, Roxy. I remember. I remember when I thought, we'd get a couple hundred women in the group, and week one we had 1,000. So I knew we were onto something. So we're here to support. And I know it says women up there, and that was my goal, but also, I've come to realize that we have so many, not only advocates, but 911 Wonder Men. And I see you, and we're here for you too. This is a look at our current programming. I only have like 9 minutes left. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. And I'm going to go back to Ella's session yesterday. So Ella's session is a precursor. Please go back and watch it. It's a prerequisite to mine. So Ella talked about taking care of ourselves and I have found sometimes in my life, and I know some of you struggle with this, myself is not a big enough reason to take care of myself. That sounds funny, but if you get it, you get it. Like, it's just me. Who cares, right? I'll take care of you all day. I'll take care of my kids. I'll take care of my family. I'll take care of the finances. I'll take care of my businesses. Take care of me. Like, it's just me. That is so backwards. And Ella explained that so beautifully yesterday. Taking care of yourself is taking care of the people, right? So all the people that you take care of. So advocating for myself advocates for you, right? That sounds so weird for me to say that. That's a huge kind of breakthrough for me. So I want to talk about it being possible, just like Ella said, like the little things you can do. It's little things. You don't just change yourself tomorrow. So I'm looking at this through the lens of things that exist, things that we have done as 911 Wonder Women as an organization that exists to help you take those small steps. So physical movement and well-being. I'm not going to call it exercising. I'm not going to call it getting in shape. Like small, courageous steps, right? We have a virtual 5K. This is going to be our third year doing it. And much like everything else with 911 Wonder Women, I don't know what's going to take. I don't know what's going to be a hit until we try it, right? So the first year we did this, we had over 800 participants from around the world. It is a way to get yourself to move in a very fun and exciting community way. So if you've done this before, let us know. But basically in April, we're going to have 4 days. You can do the 5K, you can walk it, you can run it, you can do it all in one day, you can do a little bit each day, you can do it as a group, you can do it on your own, you can do it with your kids or with a dog, with green eggs and ham. Sorry, this just popped in my head. But I've received so many messages that this got somebody moving for the first time in their lives. this showed someone that they could do something like this. This kicked off their exercise routine. We want to provide you with something that's going to help you. We want to meet you where you are, right? We're not going to get out there and be like Ella and be like, I'm going to run a half marathon tomorrow, which is awesome. You rock. We're going to meet you where you are, right? So this is something, registration's opening in January. It's going to be in April. It's a way to get out there with your peers and encourage other people to get out there. On that same note, Larry talked about this yesterday in his opening session. We have an Empower Yoga program. We have it. It's there. It's there for you. And Digital partnered with us to make this possible. We have worked with Yoga for First Responders. Olivia Mead has created 5 videos for 911 for you specifically, to help you learn what yoga is and how it can help you in your seat, how it can help you in your job. There are 5 videos. We have a challenge going on right now. You can learn about it on our website, on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page. But basically, you go and you watch the videos. One is teaching you about yoga. One is a guided breath exercise. One is a guided meditation. This week, we're on week 4. It's mobility. So stretches you can do at your chair, at your desk. Get that blood flowing and help you mentally. So these videos are like 5 to 10 minutes, and you can pull them up on your phone. You can watch them anytime. Little baby steps to help you help yourself so that you can help others. I'm going to just quickly go over this, but we have career and professional development series too. We have a $20,000 scholarship program to help you invest in yourself, in your career, and get those letters after your name. So that's open right now. If you go to our website, it's inspired by Wendy, who always told me I was a firework to try to give me a pep talk. It usually worked. I have it tattooed on my foot now. But that's a huge opportunity to go. We're doing EMP, CMCP, CCM, the 360 dispatcher leadership retreat, EMP. I don't know if I said that, alphabet soup, all the things. Taking that little step, getting out in this community. I did a presentation for Justice Clearinghouse last week, and somebody asked me how to find their spark again. And it's getting out there, connecting person to person, someone who understands. I see in the comments here, I'm trying to keep up with y'all. Send a smile. This was a program that we started during COVID in the 911 Wonder Woman Facebook group. All it was a Google Form spreadsheet with names and addresses. You put your name and address on there, and then you get to writing notes and sending them in the mail. The amount that uplifted people, I can't even fathom it. So when we're talking about being an advocate, it doesn't mean going out and starting a nonprofit, although if that's in you, go do it. Let me know if you need any help or assistance. It could mean sending a card in the mail. It could mean reaching out to someone who you know is an advocate and encouraging them through a note. It was so funny. And this experience was held by many people. It seemed like when I needed it the most, I got a card in the mail. This is a picture of several. I have them all in a box right here next to my desk because I need reminded probably more than you would think of impact, because it's hard when you're sitting alone in your office and, working day in, day out. And I think we tend to focus on the negative like negative feedback that we get and trolls and whatnot. And that's stupid. We need to stop that. We need to focus on this kind of thing, and we can help each other do that. I think we think of being an advocate as getting up there and speaking, and that's part of it for sure. But that's a small part. The big work is doing things like this. I'm not going to read my passage from Glennon Doyle, but I want to just focus on one quote on here. The thing that breaks your heart is the very thing you were born to help heal. When it comes to finding your passion, because if you're like me, I went 35 years of my life being like, I'm just not one of those people that has a passion. Like, good for them. It's just not me. And I always tell people, find the thing that makes you so angry. Find the pain in the world that you cannot stand. That is what you're supposed to help. The thing to you that makes you mad isn't the same thing that other people are going to resonate with. Like for me, helping women in 911 resonates with me so bad because I've been through the pain, right? Not everyone gets it. I get that all the time. Women aren't the minority. Why do they need help? What about men? Like all the time, y'all. And I just have to accept the fact, like, that is not their passion. It is mine. I'm going to do what I need to do. So when it comes to advocacy, you're going to run into that too. Why do you need to be classified as first responders? Why? Tell me why. That kind of thing. I know we've all heard it. Actually, I'll go back to this. I just want to show it. I show this picture every presentation I give, so I'm not going to skip over it. This picture was drawn by a woman in our 911 Woman group, Brooke Terry, during the pandemic. And I think it's just a beautiful representation of 911 responders and the pain and the strength and the beauty and what you all have to go through. And also, this evokes in me a feeling of the need to empower ourselves, empower others, advocate for ourselves, advocate for others, because nobody knows what it's like to answer that 911 call but you all. And people who don't do the work could never understand. It's impossible. So if we don't advocate for ourselves, they're not going to. They don't know. They don't understand. We need to start that ball rolling. And yes, then we can recruit others. They'll see our passion. They'll see our progress. But it takes time. It takes time. However, another thing that's really, really important when you're advocating is to look at the progress you've made. Because when things take time, they're slow. There's no instant gratification in this. And today, that's hard. Like, I ordered my package from Amazon this morning. Where the hell is it? Forget when I was little, when you wanted something for a catalog, you had to write them in the mail and send a check. But anyway, so we're in the check writing, mail sending era, advocating for 911. And that's how it is. But if we never send that check, we're never gonna get our package. So a lot of people will say, how do you stay so positive? How do you stay so positive? I'm not positive all the time. I'm going to project positivity to you because you need it, but then I'm going to go lay in my bed and recover and refill my cup and drink more coffee. But I love this. person who turns a negative into a positive can never be defeated. Why? Because we're never going to let the negativity kill us. Because we're going to take it, we're going to use it as fuel. We're going to see the good. We're going to take the road less traveled. We're going to blaze a trail, right? So choosing to focus on something that we don't have control over, like whether or not they decide to reclassify you in your state. I live in Florida, so come talk to me about disappointment and being defeated. But focusing on what's going right and lean into that. So let's think about 5 years ago. Were we talking about health and wellness like we are today? Look at all of the movements, the I Am 911 movement, the reclassification movement, our updates in technology to be able to serve the public and gain that respect. I'm on Wonder Woman, era of the headset, what we're doing right now, what we're doing today. Think about that when we're going through this negative crap and all this stuff that we can't control. We've made progress and we've made it by fighting, and we need to continue to do so. We need to continue this path because we have momentum, whether or not it feels like it. Okay, I know I'm over. I'm going to tell one more story. So April 2010, I was at the Women in Public Safety conference that ABCO used to do. And actually, that conference was a huge influence in my life. Whole other story. So Wendy and I were actually down here in Orlando. It's when I lived in Pennsylvania. We were down here in Orlando for the conference. And Wendy and I were sitting at the bar like we did, drinking our wine, talking about life. And there was this man sitting a couple bar stools down, and he was by himself. Must have been eavesdropping on our conversation, because I remember specifically talking about a relationship that I was struggling with at the time. And he wrote this on a piece of paper and gave it to me. 2 years ago, I was moving my office from a room without a door to a room with a door because my children. And I found this as I was moving my desk, and it really kind of took my breath away. I had kept it and I don't know, shoved it in a drawer. But I want to share it with you. The best day of your life is the one on which you decide your life is your own. No apologies or excuses. No one to lean on, rely on, or blame. The gift is yours, and it's an amazing journey. And you alone are responsible for the quality of it. This is the day your life really begins. This is something that it's gonna hit everyone a little differently. It's gonna mean something different, and it's meant different things to me. as I think about my life in the past 12 years. I actually went onto Facebook to try to find Bob Moward, and I found his son. Bob had passed away from cancer, but I shared with him this story and the story of Wendy and her passing from cancer as well. And it was just a moment. But I want to leave you with that. When you think about what you want to do and whether or not you want to step up and be an advocate and how you can do that in your life, you need to think about it from your perspective and nobody else's. But you need to think about it. And you need to think about you as a person and what you can do and why you need to take care of yourself in order to provide what you want to provide to others. Okay, that's it. We have a website. I have an email. We're on all of these Facebook things. If you want more information, we have committees now. We do have committees. So if you do want to volunteer, email and we'll get you hooked up. Cardo. Okay. Hi.
All right. Excellent.
Come save me. Okay.
I hit the button and it was on delay, so I don't know. It was moving slow. I saw the look on your face. I'm like, hold on, I'm getting over here. Well, amazing as always, and this was really good. Thank you for kicking us off. This was an excellent way to do it, and that note that was written and handed to you. I mean, I'm a firm believer that there's some people that we come into contact with, whether we know them or not, that help us out. I know that I've had moments where there's someone there who just in passing says something and then just happens to disappear, and you're like, how did that happen? Where were they at? But I needed to hear what they said at that moment. So yeah, that's amazing. And look at where you're at now.
I know, right? It's crazy. I can't. It's hard for me to think about that because I just have to think about the next thing. I do. I have to shout out to Joyce because you know Joyce, and she's always keeping us on task and on message. Um, so I have to. I'm bad at reading comments, but Joyce and Roxy really wanted me to mention the cookbook. We,
Yes, I saw that.
we have a cookbook coming out. We collected recipes from all the folks in the group, and it's going to be available for download probably next week, maybe this week. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh man!
But
Well,
yeah, we'll have the cookbook up and ready. I'll be posting about it. So
excellent. I'm excited for that as well. I saw some rumblings about a cookbook and stuff. I was like, I wonder. I like to cook myself, so. Dude, Roxy says, "How else are people gonna know about ham dip?" Yeah. Hey, I'm all about that. Look it up. Some sort of dip with meat
You
in
guys,
it. Yeah.
we should just call it the ham dip, like call the book, like call the cookbook the ham dip. And then like the subtitle will be like the 911 Wonder Woman cookbook. The ham dip, you guys, like I'm excited to try it. It's Roxy's famous ham dip recipe. It is legendary. There have been stories told. So I can't wait to find out if it's worth all the hype.
Oh, snaps.
So yes, the ham dip, the 911 Wonder Woman cookbook will be available soon.
Love it. Got a picture of Roxy with ham dip that she's holding.
Yes.
Yeah, like oh, that is perfect. Well, I know I know you need to get going and stuff, but super excited for everything that is going on with 9 Wonder Women Inc. Once again, thank you so much for being a diamond sponsor. And tune in, folks. We're going to go to the next session. We've got Juliet Brown that's going to be jumping in, and it is going to be awesome. And then the session after that, we bring back 9 Wonder Women Inc. And it is going to be a panel, and it's called
No Shame in My Mom Game.
Boom. Oh, I'm so excited for that one too. So it is going to be good. We'll see you in the next one, everyone.